How can we have lost this game? Man United 2, Nottingham Forrest 3. It was a weird one, wasn't it? A game where you were banking on a bounce back after defeat against Arsenal, playing at home, Ruben and Amorim. He was telling us all he was expecting a storm. Well, that storm came today, but it was the wrong storm, of course. That storm cancelled the Liverpool-Everton game, but the storm was there. And what is that storm? Some people call it players. Some people call it chaos. But I call it Ruben Amorim is here for the 5th game in charge, trying to salvage the season, to implement a new system. And certain players are not intelligent enough to understand what it is to play for this club. Now, again, the common denominator here is that we conceded early. Shell-shocked. We should be ready from minute 1 when the referee blows the whistle to go out and fight. This is Man United. We put on the shirt, the badge. Milenkovic scored in the first 2 minutes. Wow. Wow. We came back into this game. We've clawed back in. We're starting to see a little bit of a formation. Starting the first half was good. It was really good. We had possession. We had passes. We had everything. And Rasmus Højlund scores the equalizer. Good, I'm thinking. We go back into the dressing room. There's some pep talk. Players come out there. Sleepy Joe again. And same thing. 2 minutes in from the referee whistle, we concede. Morgan Gibbs White. But we got to back the tape really to dissect, to isolate what really happened there. A lot of people going in and blaming Onana. Yes, he should have stopped that shot. But what happened there was Lenny Euro was driving up, giving it to Bruno Fernandes, who absolutely had a stinker of the day today. And he mispassed it. Bruno Fernandes, of course, scored to level a little bit later on, to close the gap. But for the remaining of the game, Bruno Fernandes, he was dog-shied, and he was absolutely hooked out later on by Ruben Amorim. I'm going to be as less reactionary as possible to go more into how did we lose this game. You see, here's a simple fact. 2-3 doesn't really tell you the story, right? Manchester United has 72% ball possession. Forest has 28%. Total passes, 592 versus them, 236. 522 passes completed versus their 153. That tells you the story that United were the dominant team. They were sitting back. Total shots. Listen to this. United had 17 shots. They had 11. Shots on target, 7. And they had 3. And guess what? Those 3 shots were the goals that came in. Do you understand my point? Touches in the opposition box, 31 versus 15. Sure, you can look at the stats and say, wow, yeah, 100%. It is what it is. But we got to have more heart than quality, in my opinion. Where do we begin? How do we dissect these people? It was a game where I have to be a little bit critical to everyone, including Ruben Amorim. I know that this is not his team. I know that he's trying to make something work by rotating. But a little bit of criticism where you know which is your best starting 11. Rotation in all glory, but when you have lost the game about Arsenal and you're playing at home against Nottingham Forest, which you know, and kudos for Nuno Espirito Santos, the fellow Portuguese coach, set up his team perfectly fine. You see the stats there. tells me that Nuno Espirito Santo set his team up for a mid-block. We could not get through the middle at all. We were forced to play it wide, and often when we played it wide to Dalot, there was no end product from Dalot's side. But whenever we played to Garnacho's side, something happened, but we didn't do it enough. Collectively, this whole team crumbled. I saw that Ruben Amorim was suffering on the touchline. He tried to do some substitutions. He was pulling his assistant manager to find an answer. But what can you do as a manager when your heads are gone within the players? Again, so many times have we pointed the fingers at the players. They are shit. They should be sold. I'm just tired of pointing fingers. I'm just happy to see that Ruben Amorim and his coaching staff and Ineos has a first glance to see who's not working in this system. If you're going to play a 3-4-3, you got to play players that fits your system. That means if you're going to sell players, do it. Rashford came in the second half, didn't do nothing. Garnacho is wasted. He's not a number 10. But we got to talk about Onana. I see there are a lot of people going in on Onana. They're saying he's absolutely shit, X, Y, Z. But why are we doing this as a fan base, right? Onana has been the most improved goalkeeper. He's been having fantastic games and saving us this season. Today he had a stinker. He was not the only one. So, let's hear. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. And we're going to play what Ruben Amorim had to say as well. Because manager is suffering. And when the manager is suffering, he told us the fans has to suffer as well. 100%. Let's add this to the stage and hear what Ruben has to say. Loading.
Ruben, not the result that you would have wanted, and I think maybe not the performance you would have wanted either.
Of course, it was really difficult to start the game with 1-0 down in the set pieces again. I think everybody in the stadium feel that.
Well, set pieces, of course, there was a mismatch, a zonal marking. You need to get out of that trap. It was an absolutely mismatch. Milenkovic is a giant versus Martinez. Yeah. So interesting stat is that Manchester United is currently sitting 5th on conceding goals. I think 7 goals this season for set pieces. So something needs to be worked on.
That goal, but we try it again. We control the game. We dominate the game. We try to create chances. We were near. We draw the game, go to half time, and then the second half again suffer.
So what happened in the second half? The pep talk. You know, I would say the players were motivated to come out there, but again, they were sleeping. They hit us on the counter. What did they? Sloppy pass from Bruno. Morgan Gibbs-White had a free-range pass and shot it straight at Onana, straight at the goalkeeper. That was an easy save. What was Onana thinking? There was a little bit of swirl bender, but Onana was already going left. He should have stayed strong at the post, but it is what it is.
The 2 goals, and then in this context, it's really tough to put some calm in the players. But we managed to score 3-2. We try it with not a lot of quality, more heart than quality.
True, there was not a lot of quality. Again, this is due to the way Nuno Espirito Santo set up the team. You know, he did substitutions. He went from a mid-block going into a low block. And you know, it's very difficult. Man United is struggling against low block. Nothing really went our way. There was no creativity. Mason Mount came in. Xerxes came in. Rashford came in. Nothing happened. Toothless.
We could do it, but we already knew that it's a great job. It's a long journey. You have to continue step by step. with defeats, with wins, continue the same.
And this is where I agree with Ruben. It feels like Ineos wrote off the season when sacking Ten Hag, knowing that this is a process. Ruben Amorim is having his pre-season right now. This is not his players. He's working with what he's got. He's kind of have to experiment. There's little time for training to implement this style of play, and that's about it. So I agree what he's saying, and what he's always saying, we will suffer, and there will be storms. There will be matches like this. 100%. But again, my little bit critique against Ruben, because everyone gets a little bit stick, is that what I said earlier. You can rotate and rotate, but at the end of the day, put your strongest team out and let them work, right? Let them work. It don't matter if they played the game 3 days ago. We used to do that under Ten Hag. They're used to it. So what happened in the first half is that you're not starting your strongest 11. And then in the second half, the best guys comes in. And by then, the game is already gone. In my opinion, you should go what Arteta did 2 years ago. The first 20 minutes, just go for it. Go for the kill choke. But this is what we're going to see until we get it right.
I think you are obviously you've already mentioned it, you're obviously on a bit of a journey. You've said that there's going to be ups and downs. This is one of those downs, but you're all together and you learn from it, I guess.
Of course, and we have to. I think everybody here has experienced ups and downs in football, so you have to continue your job doing the same things, really convinced of your way, and I'm really convinced of that. It's really hard to lose games. I know that the public and the fans want to win. It's a long time without winning, without that feeling. But we are in the long journey. We are going to do it in the end.
Just to take the positives out of the game, when you move the ball quickly as a team, that's where you look the most dangerous.
Yeah, we managed to have some combinations, especially if you see our first goal, when we draw the game, and we were in control of the game. But in this context, when you suffer a goal, you suffer a lot.
Of course, we suffer a lot, and I don't really agree what Ruben was saying, because once to set up a mid-block, it was so hard to get time on the ball. We were like not being able to string passes along. They didn't get us. They was right at their heels, and they forced us wide, which is then come down to Nuno Espirito Santos. Now we can listen to this as much as you say. I can speak or say my voice of opinion, but one thing pops in my mind, and that is Gwen Stefani. Don't speak, I know what you're thinking. I don't need your reasons. Don't tell me because it hurts. Because it hurts. Anyway, it is what it is, and I agree with most parts of what Ruben is saying. I do agree with most part of the fan base is saying. But you know what? Football is a game. You know, you lose, it's never easy. Do other things, go take your dog out for a walk or watch some Netflix or just relax and don't think about it. Ruben Amorim, there's a long journey ahead. Ruben Amorim, this is not your place. Ruben Amorim is coming in to complete this total rebuild, a new system. And what he said, we're going to suffer 100%. So Man United 2, unfortunately, Newcastle 3. Let me know in the comment section below. For me, there is no man of the match. I would say big up for Kobe Mainoo, big up for Garte, and feel sorry for Onana, who slipped on a banana. We go again. This has been Mick Ruby, MUFC Realist TV. See you to the next one. Bye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.